Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss about glass transition temperature. Glass transition temperature, it is denoted by the letter Tg. The glass transition temperature is a temperature below which a polymer exists in glassy state, rigid state, and above which it exists in rubbery state or flexible state. So, glass transition temperature, that is a temperature, this is Tg, and below which that is exist in glassy state, and above which a polymer exists in rubbery state. Okay, and this importance of this glass transition temperature is, this is the useful temperature and it can decide a polymer is in the processing temperature of polymer, the heat expansion of polymer, all the physico-chemical properties of polymers, etc. So, it is an important parameter related to the physical property of a polymer. This temperature, glass transition temperature, that determines whether the polymer is in use temperature. So, there are different parameters which affect Tg. You know that glass transition temperature that involves, that is important in several cases like processing of a polymer, then heat expansion, then applications of a polymers like electrical applications, then mechanical applications, other mechanical properties, everything will depend upon this value of Tg. Okay, and we will see what are the important parameters which affect the value of Tg. We will see one by one. The first thing, the polymer, whether it is in the rubbery state, the polymer is in a there is some freedom of movement, and in the glassy state all the molecules are closely packed and there is the freedom of movement is restricted in the glassy state. So, whatever the parameters which increases the freedom of movement of a polymer chain, that will affect the value of Tg. And the flexibility, that is one parameter, flexibility. If a polymer is a straight chain molecule, straight chain polymer like polyethylene, polystyrene, whatever it may be, polyethylene, polypropylene has a small branch. And in the linear polymers, if that linear polymer shows freedom of rotation, if we attach another bulky group or aromatic group or some bulky substituent, that will decrease the freedom of rotation. At that time, that value of Tg will increase. So, whether there is a bulky substituent group or aromatic ring which is attached to a linear polymer chain, that will increase the value of Tg. Okay, and then side chain, another parameter. When we consider polystyrene, there is one aromatic substituent. Okay, then if we add one methyl group in addition to that aromatic ring, that means methyl polystyrene. So, in the polymer side chain backbone, there is one group is methyl group and another group is aromatic group. So, these two groups, that hinders the freedom of rotation and that will increase the value of Tg. Okay. So, when we consider methylstyrene and styrene, methylstyrene exhibit low Tg compared to that of styrene. And another thing, we know the plasticizers. Plasticizers are those substances which are added to a polymer at the time of processing in order to improve the flexibility of a polymer. Normally, organic phthalates are used. Some esters of phthalic acid is used in the case of several polymers and PVC and all. So, when we add plasticizers, the flexibility of a polymer increases and that also hinders the that also increases the value of Tg. So, PVC, unplasticized PVC, when we consider the TG of plasticized PVC and unplasticized PVC, plasticized PVC, the value is lower due to the increase in flexibility. And then stereo regularity, another most important parameter, that is stereo regularity. We know that polymers are classified on the basis of stereo regularity. Polymers are classified into three categories: isotactic, syntactic and atactic. Isotactic polymers are those polymers, and when we consider the plane, the substituent group is arranged if there is a regular pattern. If all the substituent groups are either arranged at the lower plane of that polymer backbone or upper plane, that if all the substituent groups are arranged in the same plane, then it is called isotactic. If that substituent groups are arranged in a zigzag manner, if that substituent groups are arranged in a zigzag manner, then it is called syntactic polymers. If there is no proper arrangement, then we can call those polymers as atactic polymers. So, based on stereo regularity, polymers are classified into three categories: isotactic. Isotactic, the substituent groups are properly arranged either below the plane or above the plane. Syntactic, the substituent groups are arranged in a zigzag pattern. And then atactic polymers, there is no proper arrangement. Maybe first 3, 4, the substituent group is arranged below the plane, and after that it is above the plane. There is no proper arrangement, then it is called the atactic polymers. So, while we consider the TG of these polymers, the isotactic polymers have higher TG compared to that of syntactic polymers, and syntactic polymers have higher TG compared to that of atactic polymers. So, stereo regularity, isotactic and syntactic polymers are called stereoregular polymer, and atactic polymers are called stereoirregular polymers. While we consider these three categories, isotactic exhibit higher TG compared to that of syntactic, and that exhibit higher TG compared to that of atactic. So, these are the important parameters which affect the TG of a polymer. TG, we know that it is a useful temperature. It gives various parameters related to a polymer. It is very important for a polymer to decide the processing temperature and which type of processing technique and etc. So, it is a temperature below which a polymer exists in a glassy state. In that state, polymers have a low degree of freedom, and above which it exists in rubbery state, and it is a flexible nature. There exists some freedom of movement and flexibility, side chain, plasticizers, stereo regularity. These are the parameters, important parameters which affect the value of TG. Okay, thank you.